Clara Bennett hadn't planned on spending her Christmas anywhere near Montana, but life had a strange way of pushing people exactly where they needed to be. The snowstorm began as light flurries, drifting lazily across the pale gray sky as she drove along the narrow mountain road. But within minutes, the gentle snowfall transformed into a furious, blinding curtain of white. Her wipers struggled wildly, scraping across the windshield, but visibility vanished inch by inch. Her rental car groaned, shuddered, and then, without ceremony, died completely. The dashboard flickered once and went black. Clara sat in stunned silence, breath fogging in the icy air. With no cell service, no traffic, and no sign of life around her, she forced herself out of the car and was instantly swallowed by the storm. Snow lashed her face like thousands of needles. Her boots sank deep into drifts that rose nearly to her knees. She wrapped her coat tighter and walked toward the faint glow she thought she had seen in the distance. Maybe it was a lamp. Or maybe she was hallucinating. But she had no other choice. By the time she staggered up the steps of the enormous wooden ranch house, she was shaking uncontrollably. She knocked, praying someone would hear her. The door opened almost immediately, revealing a tall, broad-shouldered man with storm-gray eyes and a face framed by rugged stubble. His expression shifted from suspicion to concern in an instant. "What are you doing out here?" he asked, his voice deep and rough like gravel warmed by sun. "My car died," she breathed. "I saw a light." "Come inside," he said without hesitation. Heat enveloped her the moment she stepped in, fire crackling, warm wood scents, something cinnamon-sweet lingering in the air. Before she could catch her breath, two children, a boy and girl, both around 8, ran into the room and skidded to a stop. "Daddy, who is she?" the girl asked, eyes wide with curiosity. "Is she a Christmas angel?" the boy whispered. The man, Reed Walker, cleared his throat. "Ben, Lily, give her some room." Clara smiled weakly. "Hi. I'm Clara." Lily grinned. "We made cookies. Do you want one?" "Daddy burned the first batch but the second batch is okay." Reed shot the girl a look, but Clara laughed despite her exhaustion. He set her near the fire with a thick blanket and a mug of hot cocoa the kids insisted she needed. Slowly, warmth seeped back into her bones. Reed explained that the storm had knocked out power lines before. The generator might come on but not for a while. When thunder cracked outside and the entire house went dark, the kids squealed in excitement while Reed calmly lit lanterns. The house transformed, warm golden circles of light reflected off every wooden beam. The tree lights flickered dimly, ornaments glowing like stars caught in bottles. "You'll have to stay the night," Reed said quietly. "There's no way out until the road clears." Clara knew he was right. She followed him down the hall to a cozy guest room with quilts that looked handmade. Before he left, she whispered, "Thank you for everything. For letting me in." He hesitated, something unreadable in his eyes. "You were freezing," he said softly. Anyone would have done the same. But as he walked away and she drifted to sleep to the sound of crackling fire and distant wind, Clara wondered if that was true, or if Reed Walker, isolated single father with grief in his eyes and warmth he tried to hide, might be the kind of man who did more than most. Sunlight streamed into the guest room the next morning. Clara blinked awake, wrapped in blankets that smelled faintly of pine and something comforting she couldn't quite place. The house was quiet except for laughter echoing faintly down the hall. When she stepped into the kitchen, Lily and Ben were decorating pancakes with wild, chaotic creativity, chocolate chips everywhere, whipped cream mountains, syrup rivers. Reed glanced at her from the stove. "Morning. Hope you slept okay." "I slept like I was in another world," she said truthfully. The twins immediately pulled her to the table and insisted she taste their creations. Breakfast felt warm, homey. So different from the cold, polished city life she'd left behind. Afterward, Reed reluctantly agreed to let the kids show her around the ranch. They took her to the barn, bouncing with excitement. Sunlight cut through the open rafters, illuminating the warm bodies of horses nestled inside. Lily hugged a fluffy white pony. "This is Marshmallow. She likes cookies. Daddy says she's spoiled." "That's because you sneak her cookies," Reed called from behind them. Clara turned, startled, and found him watching her with a soft expression that made her heart skip. He leaned against a wooden post, arms crossed, eyes lingering on her a moment longer than necessary. "You're good with animals," he observed as she stroked a mare's neck. "I always wanted to live somewhere like this," she said quietly. "But life got in the way." "Life does that," he said in a low voice. "But sometimes it gives second chances." Her breath caught. Later, when they dug out her car together, the twins watched from the porch. The road was still icy, but technically drivable. Clara felt the heaviness settle in her chest. It was almost time to leave. But before Reed could say anything, Lily ran to Clara and grabbed her hand. "Do you have to go?" Ben followed, chin trembling. "You made Daddy smile." "He doesn't smile like that." Reed froze, startled and embarrassed. "Kids." "It's true," Lily insisted. "Daddy's lonely. And we like you." Clara felt her throat tighten. Reed looked at her helplessly, caught between fatherhood and vulnerability. "I don't want you to feel pressured," he said softly. "But, it's been nice having you here." It was more honesty than she expected. More than most men ever gave. She looked at the car. Then at the children hugging her, then at Reed standing there with his heart half hidden behind protective walls. Maybe she did have somewhere else to be. But at that moment, she didn't want to be anywhere else. "Maybe I could stay," she said quietly. "Just one more day." The twins screamed with joy. Reed's smile, slow, warm, and amazed, was worth more than any Christmas gift she'd ever received. Clara didn't know what the next day would bring. But she knew this.